everyone. I am Zhang Yujie, an assistant professor in the Department of Applied Psychology at Chuanchuang University. I am also the co-principal investigator of the Digital Humanities Innovative Talent Cultivation Program. My academic specialties are perceptual psychology and emotional psychology. In recent years, I have been dedicated to integrating XR technology with the humanities for creative projects. This semester, I am responsible for offering the course Extended Reality in Indigenous Artifact Preservation. This course aims to guide students, building on the foundations laid by previous courses, to consider how to use extended reality technology to preserve traditional artifacts and life stories of indigenous peoples. Unlike existing digital archives, this course goes beyond simply 3D modeling and archiving people, items, facilities, or even houses. It also captures the body movements of individuals engaged in specific activities, allowing these to be connected into complete 3D animated scenarios for subsequent cultural revival demonstrations or product promotion and sales. For example, in the case of Atayal women weaving, in addition to preserving the physical and image records of the delicate works, the course will include modeling and capturing the loom, the weaver, and the weaving motions. This ensures that classic moments of traditional indigenous life can be permanently preserved in the digital world. Therefore, this course will teach techniques such as Taishi, 3D modeling and scanning, motion capture, scene building, and animation editing, as well as tools for presenting the integrated results of these materials, including Spark AR and HoloLens. In the first half of this semester, this course will focus on co-teaching dialogues and hands-on practice. Initially, students will be introduced to the concepts and experiences of XR apps. Following this, each co-instructor will guide students based on their area of expertise, teaching them 3D modeling and scanning, motion capture, scene building, and animation design through hands-on practice. Once students have learned the relevant techniques and created initial projects, the second half of the semester will utilize Spark AR and HoloLens as development platforms. During this period, students will be guided to complete XR animated short films or interactive apps that can be presented on mobile devices or immersive headset systems. Here's a brief introduction of who I am and what I teach. Thank you. My reflections on the teaching of this course are divided into the following points. During the period this course was taught, we experienced two significant events. The first implementation of co-teaching at our school and the global wave of AI. In response to these developments, we adjusted the course by inviting two co-teachers, Director Wu Jingyao from the Department of Visual Communication Design and Professor Huang Kuyu from the Department of Fashion Design, to discuss and plan the course content together, organizing it into three main themes. The first session, taught by me, covered the basics of iClone operation and animation generation. The second session had Professor Kuyu explaining how AI can assist in generating visual design patterns, followed by Director Jing Yao demonstrating how to import these patterns into iClone to create tattoos on virtual characters. In the third session, Director Jing Yao led students in an Oculus experience of hunting wild boars, inspiring them to conceive virtual reality project designs, develop storylines, and consider the details of the experience process. Interestingly, the interaction and complementary explanations between the teachers, along with their coordinated question and answer sessions, became an unexpectedly rewarding aspect of the course that was not initially anticipated. Based on the teaching evaluation scores, students had a very positive response to the co-teaching approach. During this course, we are making two important adjustments to the curriculum to accommodate the teaching conditions. The first adjustment is to replace the operation of motion capture equipment with an explanation of how to apply animations to 3D virtual characters using Mixamo. The main reason for this adjustment is that the technical threshold for using motion capture equipment is relatively high. To ensure that the course proceeds as scheduled, I will instead teach students how to use Mixamo to animate characters. The second adjustment involved the first-generation HoloLens mixed reality headsets. During those weeks, the battery life of the devices malfunctioned. Initially, we had 5 HoloLens headsets, but we ended up with only 1 functional unit. Consequently, I could only demonstrate how to publish projects, leaving students with little to no time to use the device themselves. As a result, the hands-on learning aspect of mixed reality had to be omitted. In response, I promptly decided to switch to teaching Unity project design, allowing students to become more familiar with Unity and C# programming. This knowledge will be beneficial for their future projects involving mixed reality headset design. During the teaching process of this course, I observed a phenomenon where students who have been involved with the project for a longer period were able to quickly catch up and complete their projects. These students had previously participated in summer workshops and multiple cultural exploration camps, allowing them to easily find resources and topics within the project's framework to complete their work. However, new students who just joined the project had to simultaneously understand Indigenous culture and hone their XR skills, requiring more guidance to keep pace with the others. I believe the following points can help improve the situation. Encourage students to start with small projects and gradually develop them into larger ones. Train students to break down their ideas into executable and interrelated problem-solving steps. Adjust regular teaching content in real time to support students' project ideas. Establish several checkpoints before the final presentation to monitor students' project progress. Enhance the digital components of cultural exploration camps or offer additional practical courses after class. Provide students with time, space, and resources for reflection and incubation, helping them find inspiration for their projects from within. Next, I would like to discuss the topic of tobacco culture. In this course, the students' ideas and the XR projects they wanted to create regarding tobacco did not fully reflect the reality of Indigenous life. This highlights the lack of knowledge about Indigenous culture. The students struggled to connect the 3 elements: acquiring knowledge of Indigenous culture, forming concepts for XR project design, and implementing XR projects, making it difficult to find a solid starting point. Therefore, I guided them to think from the perspective of fire preservation and forest wisdom to create AR effects. The AR effect can be designed so that when the camera captures the user's face, it immediately generates an image of the user holding a pipe in their mouth. When the user opens their mouth, smoke will slowly emerge, with both the pipe and smoke being augmented virtual effects. For Indigenous people, traditionally, some elders would intentionally knock out a tooth to create a hole in the gum, which would be used to hold a pipe. In the mountains, fire is extremely precious, and keeping a fire going is an essential survival skill. Holding a pipe was a way to preserve the fire, embodying the wisdom of living in the forest. This idea is very interesting. In the future, we plan to let students engage in hands-on activities, from cutting bamboo and making pipes to scanning the pipes with a 3D scanner, and then creating AR filter effects. Packaging this concept into a comprehensive educational activity plan can not only convey the forest wisdom of Indigenous people, but also digitally preserve it and recreate the enjoyment. The XR project on facial tattoos is a work with low technical complexity, but high cultural content, raising numerous profound discussions about Indigenous culture. The primary reason is that modern indigenous people no longer practice facial tattooing, nor do they need to. Preserving and displaying facial tattoos digitally through an XR project offers an innovative way of tattooing. The traditional skills of tattoo artists are already fading, and there is concern that this could accelerate their disappearance. In the tribe, facial tattoos traditionally represent a rite of passage into adulthood. Using AR to apply facial tattoos lacks the significance of this rite. Having tattoos with AR, but not without it, fails to convey the concept of adulthood. A deeper reflection is that we should preserve the cultural essence, not just the ritual itself, and understand the underlying meaning of the rituals. Therefore, we have considered incorporating this project into experimental education at the elementary and middle school levels, giving it cultural heritage significance. However, from an adult perspective, if the AR experience requires a high level of knowledge transfer, it may make the general public feel effortful. It might be better to first make indigenous culture interesting and curiosity-provoking before discussing cultural identity and its deeper meanings. Moreover, collaborating with businesses to create interesting XR effects could be an innovative approach. This would introduce indigenous culture in a light-hearted and engaging manner, aligning more with the carefree nature of indigenous people. The various XR projects proposed in this course all have similar issues worth discussing. During teaching, we constantly remind ourselves to connect XR projects with indigenous life, aiming to design XR solutions that help businesses with marketing, thereby achieving the goal of this project to digitally revitalize indigenous culture and promote industry development. Next, let us review the classic photos of this project's members at the Tribal Expedition Camp. Thanks for your watching.
在山间的怀抱，我们的根，泰雅族的智慧，甚至于心，延展实境的力量，将过去重现，文化的传承不再受限于时间。虚拟的世界呈现部落的光彩，每一个故事在数位中闪耀。我们是未来的守护者，科技的光辉，让文化永生。 未来的希望，我们不懈追寻，传统与创新携手并进，延展世纪，让记忆延续，泰雅族的精神永远长存。在元宇宙的梦境，重建我们的家园，每一段历史都变得鲜明。 科技与智慧交织成美丽的桥梁，我们的努力让文化绽放光芒。虚拟的世界呈现部落的光彩，每一个故事在数位中闪耀。我们是未来的守护者，科技的光辉让文化永生。未来的希望，我们不懈追寻，传统与创新携手并进。 延展世纪，让记忆延续，泰雅族的精神永远长存。手牵着手，心连着心，在未来的路上不再孤单前行。科技的翅膀，让梦想高飞。泰雅族的未来，由我们描绘。未来的希望，我们不懈追寻，传统与创新携手并进。 延展世纪，让记忆延续，泰雅族的精神永远长存。在这高科技的时代，我们勇敢起航，泰雅族的精神永远闪耀光芒。未来的守护者，我们引以为荣。在科技中，我们的文化永不朽。